feels like it's been a long time.
Long ass time. Actually, and I did not release the episode I was supposed to release last Friday.
Oh, so we're like a little
A
behind
little
on.
behind. A little behind. But not in our shorts. Our shorts have continued to be published.
It's lit.
So,
We outside.
We're still out there.
We outside.
Yeah. With a new day, new episode. You know you gotta start it off.
What's up, everybody? We're back.
Yes.
The Prefect Perspective. It's me, your boy, Realty Ryan, and my main man.
Romano.
Yeah.
Romano, the realtor. If you're trying to find me on any platforms, otherwise, my name is Romano. We will be getting to know each other.
Yeah. Yeah. We're back at it again. Happy to be back. We've been gone for a while. I heard you were on an adventure. You were touring through O Block.
Yeah, I was in Chi-Town. Was that?
You were in the Shy.
Yeah, I was in Chicago.
My boy Dirk is down now. Romano, feel free to move the streets. You know
Chill
what I'm
out.
saying? Let his dreads hang.
You funny as hell. I was there at the same time as the Bears game.
I
Bears
wouldn't know
versus-
nothing about that.
Well, Bears versus Cowboys. They played.
I know that Cowboys fans are not just fans, they're fanatics. They are the true meaning of the word fan.
Right. They should be mad because they lost.
Man, booty scraping.
Terribly.
That's crazy.
Terribly. They got one man carrying the team and he was out. He's out cold.
Well, that's what happens. That is what happens. So what brought you out to Chicago, Romano?
Special occasion, celebrating a birthday.
That's what's up.
Celebrating a birthday.
It's the wife's birthday because yours
Yes.
already passed.
Mine already passed. I'm not telling y'all when my birthday is.
Yeah, but it was a few months ago.
Right. Because then everybody going to start talking about astrology.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like kind of like that personality quiz we was taking upstairs, huh? But that was probably more accurate than any astrology.
Right. I forgot what mine was. Yours was ENTP.
It said I was what's that? An intro?
Extrovert. It's an extrovert at the first letter, but then I forget what the hell the rest means. Yeah, I couldn't recall it for the life of me.
Word.
But yeah, no, that personality tests are pretty cool. I think they kind of help you with working with other people more so than they're supposed to be like some answer to a bigger question you might have.
If you know yourself, then whether the quiz is right or wrong, you're gonna kind of be like, oh yeah, that's where it was. I don't know if it's the joint down there, but yeah, we outside.
It's the backpack. I just wanted to reduce the reverb. The
reverb. Damn.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean Chicago was good though. On that note, we started with a architectural boat tour, as you know you must do when you're in Chicago, and that's where I would then start making the comparison between it and New York, only because I have a lot of people who are like, oh, how is it compared to New York? I would say it's like a little, not a little, but it's like a smaller version of New York, right? But they got some stuff right, whereas New York didn't get the opportunity to get those things right. You know what I mean?
Talking about how it's clean and has nice historical buildings.
Yes. In fact, that is exactly what I'm referring to. New York tore all theirs down for convenience and to pursue the postmodern design.
Right.
I said postmodern because, I heard it a million times when describing buildings. It's just really...
The now.
Yeah. Not really even the now, because it's like before the now.
Oh, wait.
It's like we were trying to go futuristic.
Yeah.
Right. But it wasn't like
Postmodern. Modern is like now.
Right.
So postmodern is after now, so it's the future.
No, actually, no. Modern is like skyscraper-esque, right? You're coming into skyscrapers, but it's not necessarily... Postmodern is like you go and focus on boxes. Like the squares, like the regular standard skyscrapers. That's apparently postmodern. Is just skyscraper, boxed, no extra nothing, right? Now I think we're in a whole different thing.
What's happening?
Like we're exploring more. Like the way my tour guide described it, it was frosting on buildings, right? your different kinds of buildings was frosted differently to look fancy. You know, like wedding cakes where they have the swirls and like all the
Okay.
extra shit. Yeah, that was like our different architectural designs historically, and then they have their names: Gothic, brutalist, whatever the hell you want to call it. The
Based
brute,
off the architectural type.
right? So they would just really come down to what kind of frosting and how you're building the building, right?
We really got to call it frosting?
I think it's a great analogy.
That's crazy.
But like postmodern and then modern, right? You're talking about reducing. So you're just trying to do like what's a building to a building. You know what I mean? Like
Almost
it's
like
just
a
building.
minimalist.
Right. We were very much reducing, and then now we've gone to the point where we're like, damn, this all looks the same and it looks like shit. Let's put a little bit more
Swag.
identity into that shit.
Yes, drop some swag on it.
So that's how we get everything after that. And you get like the weird looking buildings, you get like the special design stuff. I mean, I'll put some footage from Chicago up in here
Yeah, please do.
to show you the buildings I mean. But New York has some of these too.
Right.
It's just that it took a while, and New York's so big that they were just tossing up blocks of buildings, and you get a lot of the same sometimes, most times.
I'm
Now
sure
it's
you go to
looking
nicer
like-
areas too, you'll see.
Right. Wait, what you mean in New York?
Yeah, like Manhattan.
That's where I bees though.
So I'm saying, how's the architecture out there? Still,
It's for the wealthy wealthy people, right? They're able to maintain the design to some aspect. So it's not like you don't see the older like architectural designs in New York, and they do have some great ones. They got some great ones. They got the first engineering marvel, which was that one. It's the one building, I forget the name of it, that has like a swinging counterbalance to accommodate for the wind, that they actually messed up because they didn't like do a weight load calculation correctly. So like technically on like this one day that New York was theoretically supposed to have the worst storm ever, like that building was ready to drop. And I'm not talking about like, yeah, it was like post, our recent event.
that's crazy. You gotta do your math.
Right. They didn't. The really brilliant engineer ain't cross his dot his I's, but he went back and he did it. Y'all know which one I mean because someone knows. I just don't remember.
Throw it in the chat.
Right. Throw it in the chat. Hit me with the facts. But yes, New York has some fancy, architecturally sound buildings. Not saying they don't. I just don't feel like they had the wowzers, right? The wowers that Chicago did. But maybe it's because I don't go to standard tourist locations why I can't really definitively tell you why. But like I'm saying, there's a lot more uniqueness walking up Mag Mile than going up Upper East Side. But you still get that feeling of, oh, something going on. Somebody got money out here in both locations. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But Chicago had a lot more than just the fancy, wealthy parts. I mean, I feel like there was more of the suburban culture around the city that make you say it's old block. You know what I mean? We had people rolling up in they nice, classic cars with they spinning rims. It was
Okay.
all hours of the day. People in their
was
bikes
stunting.
and their nice low riders. Yeah, everybody they were there.
That's what's
You
up.
can't say you ain't see people being them. It wasn't all just looks, fancy cars. You had your collectibles. You had the people with personality. People were generally nice too. Like they pulled
Was
up.
there a special event going on out there?
Yeah, I mean, aside from the game, that neither of us like know about.
Right.
Like we're not gonna get into football because we don't know football like that. But like, yeah, I mean, aside from the game, oh shit, no, you're right. There was something else. The first time ever in the last, was it 90 years almost? They were able to swim in the Chicago River again.
Why?
Because it was polluted as fuck. What do you mean?
From the oil spill? No.
Well, because of the way they had built the city, right? They built it so it's like a commerce hub. It's on a giant lake, and it's on a river. So the river and the lake meet in there, like exchange. The interchange is like right there in the city, basically.
Okay.
So like the river would pour down, meet the lake water, and then it would just go into the lake. They did some engineering shit again with this one, but that came after the fire of like 19 some shit. The whole city caught on fire because they polluted the shit out of their river so much because it was a working river, not entertainment nowadays. Like right now, they got like river walks, all this shit focused on entertainment on their rivers and their lake.
Right.
Before they just had straight up, put your factory on the edge of the river, boat will pull up, you're doing manufacturing, all that shit, and you're dumping it all back into the river. So you had their junk, literally the water caught on fire too in the Great Fire of 19 some shit, right? The water caught on fire too. So
That's
how the hell the
insane.
building's burning, and then the only thing to put it out is also on fire,
Right.
So that burned down the city, and they got the opportunity. I would say, unfortunate for everybody who died and lost their houses. I'm sorry, okay, but they rebuilt from scratch basically. They lost like thousands of buildings, like it was a big clean sweep, but they were able to then redesign the city.
Wow.
New York is different, right?
It sounded like one of them conspiracy theories Ari was asking about a few weeks ago.
Well, there was actually a conspiracy theory around it because technically they reported like some old lady and her cow caused the fire, but no, it was just like terrible manufacturing practices. Some reporter just went off the rails on that.
Big business went crazy.
But New York is different compared to that. We all know that new development was founded on the demolition of areas predominantly occupied by people who could not speak for themselves. So that's what I feel like, a big difference is.
Gentrification, if you will.
Or just downright don't give a damn because they used to just burn down his neighborhoods for no reason. But that's getting into a lot of New York history.
Yeah, we're going to swag back off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to New York.
Shout out to everybody who still exists in New York. You know what I mean? Harlem is the biggest thing. So haha to them. Just saying, like, if we had more areas in New York, it'd still be even more popping. It's just that simple. Because look at it now, Renaissance hub of the country almost for a good while.
And it's disappearing.
Right. So what are we saying? What are you thinking right now? Let us know in the comment section.
You gonna go to New York and buy some property? Probably not, because they're coming here to Connecticut and buying up all of ours.
Right. But the benefit is that, hey, if everybody's running away, it might make things cheaper.
Maybe.
At some point.
It's not really known. That's a state not really known for its inexpensive living.
No way. No way. It's a lot cheaper in Chicago. I visiting there often because we're like right there next to New York.
Right.
It's an arm and a leg no matter how you try to get into that city or get out of it. Whether you're staying for a weekend or you're staying for a week, you're going to be throwing a bag.
Pay for everything. Parking, tolls.
3-day stay hotel alone was the same cost of my tickets and room in Chicago.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Actually,
now, if you're struggling to get similar reservations, reach out to me, Realty Ryan, now, because I got some vacation packages for you. We'll get her done. Flights, hotels, and rental cars.
Whole package.
Whole package. We'll get you there.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying?
Realty Ryan.
Reach out.
The vacation man. Maybe you should do like a consulting.
I'm working on it.
Side business, like build packages outside of what you got on vacations, like be a travel agent type.
A fourth job.
You can never have enough. Is that not the topic of this video today?
Actually, yes. That's what we came for.
You can never have enough money.
You know what I'm saying? This episode is for the young and the old, and we're encouraging you to go out there and get it. Straight up, point blank. Just go out there and get it.
You missed one right. You missed an opportunity to say this episode is for the young and the restless.
Damn.
It was sitting right there.
Right after Ryan's Hope. Insane.
But yes, so Ryan, tell them what we're doing today.
I mean, today we're just trying to encourage you to encourage yourself to dig in your bag and pull out another stream of income, damn it.
Exactly.
Or 2 or 3.
Right. Or 4.
Right?
We talk about bits and pieces of it, like maintaining that liquidity of your assets and being prepared to buy. But that's with the objective of solely just buying a house or getting ready for home ownership. Like today we're talking about, improving your life.
Right.
Okay? Not because we want to get your money to buy you a house, as great as that might be for you.
Yes.
The market's wild. So because the market's wild, because prices are so high, because interest is high, no matter what's going on, we know that you want to be able to support yourself.
Yes, sir.
And our advice today is grounded in the fact that we got your well-being because hey, look, you, we both broke. Unless you got money. If you're watching this and you have money, drop a comment. Let us
Yeah,
know.
let us
We
know.
will dislike your comment.
What? I mean, I ain't gonna say all that, but what the bag look like and how'd you get it? Give
Right.
these people some tips. Let them know.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
know.
there was actually mad TikToks like made about the topic too. Like people will roll up in like LA and be
Yep.
like, "Hey, what do you do? How much you make?" or something like that.
Yep.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I'm a doctor, make X amount." You know,
I saw a video
people love
like
seeing
that
it.
the other night,
Yeah.
and the like millionaire billionaire person was actually kind of talking trash because the kid was asking him what's the best thing
Damn.
that another millionaire told you, and he acted like he had never got any good advice, and it was just like diligence and persistence
Yeah.
that got him where he needed to be. And shout out to him, like that's good to know and good to hear. Like I think due diligence and just putting forth the effort, setting your goals,
Yeah.
and being driven can get you there. You know, you just
Yeah.
got to be persistent, make a plan and a clonable process. You know, a couple of things I was watching recently we're even talking about how basically a lot of people think. Actually, it was one of the Shark Tank guys, Kevin.
Yeah.
The dude Kevin, I was watching him on this other podcast, this British dude or UK, whatever. I don't know too much about over there, but whatever. My boy, I'll shout him out or something, later. But his podcast was talking to the dude Kevin off Shark Tank, and they were having a conversation about wealth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he even said that like most of the millionaires that are made, they're just people who are staying diligent to it and trying out different things and also learning different ways of investing. He said like, a lot of rich people are lazy, so they have money and they don't know what to do with it. So you come up with a process. It doesn't have to be a brand new process. Some of the most successful people in the world took something that already existed
Yeah.
and used that to either create something similar or just a way to kind of navigate their own way into that industry. Copying the layout. One of the videos was talking about the owner of Sam's Club and Walmart.
Yeah.
And it said like he's been to every single store in the nation. So he
Holy crap.
understood like like anytime he went on travels, right? And he had the opportunity to go into a retail store.
Yeah.
He went in there and just walked around the store and got to understand it. Right? So now he took their ideas, he took the good and the bad of what he saw in all these stores, and that's how he created his setups for Walmart and Sam's Club. And he used that information to bury these companies that had already existed, and he was like, more fresher in the game. But because he just took the best of everything and did it his own way, rather than trying to just completely clone a formula or reinvent it from scratch,
Right.
it was like, how could I take this and make it better? Sometimes it's as simple as that. How can I take this and make it better? And if you can make it better and it's already popular, what does that mean? That means you're going to do well.
And he did a nice statistics trick there too. I mean, he increased his population. You know what I mean? So he could not truly miss because his sample size is the entire country.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like at that point, if you aim to accurately replicate, right, a model that is successful within 80% or even say 60% of the country, that's some serious freaking money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And it wasn't, yeah, if you can do it and then take over that, yes, you're paid. But it's
Right.
like, yeah, can you make something better to where everyone will just veer off of this and jump to what you're doing?
Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. I mean, the to your point, I mean, the best example of that is, yeah, we have umbrellas now, but what if one day, on a conspiracy theory level, the sun becomes way too strong, and during the day now we need a solution for that.
Or even easier, the now. You ever see the reverse umbrellas?
Reverse umbrellas?
Yeah, so like normally when you take down your umbrella, you pull it down and it kind of collapses within itself, right? But now you're like kind of shaking it off to get the water out.
Yeah.
So there's a reverse umbrella which you actually close it by.
Oh,
So
those
now,
thingies.
yeah, they close. So now,
Okay.
like, that's a easier way, even if you're doing the whole, I hate to go this way with it, but even if you're doing the whole back and forth,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You can kind of wring out the umbrella like that, and you're
Right.
closing it the other way so that the dry side is the exposed side.
Yeah.
That's genius.
But wouldn't technically, if you put it down, then the water would just go
I mean,
directly on the
technically,
floor?
Romano, but you're supposed to shake it out first. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
there's still going to be water on it.
I mean, hey,
What if somebody
that's.
loses their shit because you brought a wet umbrella into
Listen,
their house?
a lot of times these wonderful umbrellas, which I do not sell, but I may have to start
You
selling,
probably should sell them.
have carrying cases as well, like a little
I mean,
sleeve,
yes.
a little condom for your umbrella.
Yo. But yeah, no. Think outside of the box. That's an important way to
Right.
put that summary in there for you. You got to think outside of the box. And even if you know exactly what the box is made out of, maybe a corner of that box is more profitable than you realized. You know?
Maybe you just need to, once again, not just think out of side of the box, but get out the box. Like we said before, you're living in this standard system. That's cool. If you got to work to support your family, pay your bills, obviously we all do, right? We're not wealthy, so you have to work. But at the same time, try to do something else on the side. Use a skill or talent. Utilize the world around you and the different things that are available now as income streams. A lot of people do like stock investing, which can be difficult. I'm looking at dividends and stuff like that. Now, you have social media streaming and generating wealth, like, or not wealth, but money, passive income,
Yeah.
like that. And I mean, it'll get there because in the beginning, like what we're doing right now with the podcast, building it,
Yeah.
it's not passive income. It's nothing even passive about it,
Might even be an expense. Yeah.
right? Because we have to keep it going and do what we need to do,
Build
and
consistency.
right. And then even once it becomes able to monetize, it probably won't start as much,
Right.
right?
A lot of people don't realize that.
So we're not gonna quit our job off of a $25 monetization, but it's that compounding, similar to playing stocks or certain dividend paying stocks, stuff like that. That's then going to turn that into something that is gonna be,
Profitable.
and,
Right.
and passive income,
Impactful on your wallet.
impactful on your wallet, at least at some point over time. But just like anything else, it takes consistency.
Yep. Just like anything else, it takes consistency. I mean, and I know we might have already mentioned some of these as options for you, right? People watching,
Right.
all our committed viewers, right? Whoever and wherever you are.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that another viable option is drop shipping. As an example, like a lot of people don't think about it. I mean, if you do think about it, maybe you think it's super complicated. But if you're able to break it down into the most simplest single item shop on like Amazon or something, if you're reselling toothbrushes, I mean, this is a super general example.
Right.
You might be just making the slightest difference of $1 off of a toothbrush listed on Amazon because your toothbrush is a certain color, right? Compared to the other ones available on Amazon. So people are more willing to buy it.
Right.
Shit, K-pop Demon Hunters, huge right now. I'm sure there's someone already selling K-pop Demon Hunter wrapped toothbrushes. But if you sell that, them little kids will ask their parents to buy that shit in a heartbeat.
Get
A
that K-pop.
heartbeat. And you're talking about making that difference until someone comes in that market and competes with you.
Now is that bootlegging?
I wouldn't say it's bootlegging because you're designing original product. I mean, unless you run into some copyright issue with the images you use, just use slightly different images.
Get the AI to tweak it up a little bit.
Tweak it up a little bit, and then you would have an original product, original thing to sell. You sell that junk as your own.
There you go.
You're selling toothbrushes.
Right. And it's not going to take a lot of time, hopefully. You know, if you need to figure out something as far as designing a site, you could work with like a Etsy where you're just uploading
Right.
images and stuff
Well,
like
they don't
that
even need a website because they could operate as a third party store on
on that,
Amazon.
right?
So they would
Okay.
just list it in Amazon search, and then they would list it as a business seller on Amazon. The shit would just go from production to someone's house. Realistically, if you get the logistics of it down properly, right? So you just sitting at home, it's fully automated process. You get shipments ordered and shipped out.
That's
And you're
it.
sitting there just making money as a person capitalizing on a trend and then using a common product to then bring yourself into a position where you have that residual income. You know what I mean?
So for those that don't know, what's drop shipping, Romano?
So for those that don't know, drop shipping is when your shipment gets dropped off. Right.
Your package gets dropped.
No, I mean, from my understanding, it's just usually the elimination of the portion of task, the portion of shit. Those the it's like a
Online e-commerce.
right, but it's more than it's slightly more than that because online e-commerce will still be you getting a product, finding a way to get it designed. So then you're just getting the product sent to the factory or professional who would do the design work, right? And then you getting that product back and then you having to store it and then pack it and then ship it. People would break that up into like a company,
That's
right?
traditional e-commerce.
Traditionally, or even just regular commerce in
Right,
general, right?
right.
That's a regular commerce. E-commerce only adds the internet where you get your
Correct.
orders and then you ship accordingly.
Right.
That became a super rudimentary e-commerce system.
Right.
Drop shipping is a level up from that where it's like, okay, someone else is selling a product wholesale. You can buy that bulk from that person and then make whatever adjustments you'd like depending on your own system
To the price.
and just send it right back out to the person buying it from you.
So what happens then is when people buy your product, that is all automatically set up through the drop shipping company. They receive the order, they send out the product. You never have to actually take physical ownership of it,
Right.
and it goes directly to the customer, and you get paid. So this is more of a passive income where you set up your product, you set up your online store, and then you kind of sit back and wait for things to start rolling. Obviously, there probably is going to need to be some type of marketing involved, whether it's social media or something like that.
Right.
You're probably going to pay for ads, which we find to be a highly successful way to market, ourselves on a podcast and different social media outlets. And that would be that. So that's not something that someone who works 40 or 50 hours a week can't set up. Once again, we understand people have jobs. I can't just quit my job and pursue my dreams. Even as a licensed real estate agent, there's a transition period of building your clientele and getting where you need to be first before you could just jump ship on the 9 to 5.
Right. And just to be as phonetically accurate as possible, not phonetically, I mean like to be dictionary accurate, right? Drop shipping, right, is when a retailer lists a product for sale on their online store, but instead of keeping the item in stock, they pass the customer order to a third-party supplier. The supplier then handles warehousing, packaging, and shipping the product directly to the customer. The retailer profits by charging the customer a higher price than what the supplier charges them for the product, managing managing the marketing and handling customer service, but not the inventory or fulfillment itself.
Yes.
It's pretty. So we were pretty close to spot on. You know what I mean? That's exactly the case. Is you're taking out the pretty much the difficult part that generally costs companies like millions.
Well, the advertising also, you got to get it going. You got to get people into the product somehow. Right. And then shipping it is the second problem, the second big problem.
So drop shipping and getting something customized while you're in that process tends to cost money. But what people do if they don't want to get something customized is that you can drop ship a common product.
Right.
And you can make the difference off what someone's willing to pay. So if I were to be the type of villain to do this, right? I would say go across the country, explore all the Sam's general grocery stores, and find out what people might like to have ordered to their house that's not available in a retail store commonly. Like the one simple product. Now, a lot of people have done this, so you're gonna have a hard time. Most things are available online, but if you're able to find the one product that has just been out of the public's eye and they haven't thought about it, no one's thought about it, and you're like, shit, I'll list this on Amazon. This little I'm thinking of the randomest product. This little turtle with a Eiffel Tower on its back. Have that drop shipped. Someone might be making it already. Buy it from the supplier. They'll fulfill the order, charge people mad money because you're from the New York art scene, and these New Yorkers are willing to pay $40 for this.
For an Eiffel Tower turtle.
For Eiffel Tower turtle, but someone in Ohio is already making Eiffel Tower turtles and only selling them for $10 friggin' dollars. So hey, look, New York guy, Ohio guy, look, I can get you customers if you charge me, say, $8 a turtle, and I order 800 of them at a time. Damn, it's a lot of money
For everybody.
for everybody. They'll
Awesome.
make
Eiffel Tower turtles.
Eiffel Tower turtles. So think about it, guys. There's many different ways you can apply your expertise, whatever it might be, into another stream of income.
Yes, sir.
And I just listed something that might be super business focused, and you're like, I have no reason to be interested in that. Well, hey, if you like to draw things, you can design a product that someone could do all this like this business stuff with. You know what I mean? You could design a new product and put it out there, and then people might be like, shit, I want to buy this. Labubu. You heard that? You heard of a Labubu, right?
It sounds familiar. But
Yeah, you should know about a Labubu.
I should know about
nothing.
it.
You should not know
Yeah, I
a
don't
damn
know.
thing
Yeah,
about Labubu.
It just
But
sounds.
it's everywhere. It's been huge recently. It's like these little freaking animal dolls, like looking things. They're like little dolls. They look crazy.
Huh.
They
Labubu.
look. Nah, I gotta show.
Is that a
I
part of
must show
Honey
Ryan.
Boo Boo?
No, it has nothing to do with Honey Boo Boo.
That's crazy.
They've become an absolute sensation. It's just like these little freaking look at this shit, y'all. That's a little boo boo.
That's weird as shit.
Yeah, it's like little weird
It
dolls.
looks like a furry.
Right, exactly. But they've been selling like hotcakes. You literally cannot find them authentic. So most people be buying fakes right now. They cost hundreds of dollars at this point if you're getting scalped, right? Those are little ugly dolls. The original creator barely got them available. Like I guess he ran into some issues trying to get them sold, and he eventually found some investor or someone who was willing to help him sell it, and they just took off.
Wow.
Right? How the hell would that man have known, or man or person how the hell would he have known that these ugly ass little ring dolls was gonna be the interest of the absolute world?
Yo, because there's always some type of trend.
Yeah, right. But I mean, in my business school, you always talk about the trendsetters, like the people who follow trends, the people who are late to trends, and the people who are resistant to trend changes, right? But as someone who's in that cycle of a consumer, right? How the heck do you know you have the ability to change the trend just as easily? That's what people don't realize.
Yes. I changed the trend.
What trend you changed? What you brought back? Oh, so you was with the Z Fold.
I showed people what it was. After me getting that phone, one of the probably first people out here to be rocking a foldable phone.
Right.
Multiple people alone at my job ended up getting that phone. And that's why, one of my side hustles is my electronics. And my things I do is showing people how to save money by using streaming services to cord cut type of thing. That's like the big part of my business is that I want to push technology forward because I hate the way it gets dragged. I hate the way we're like at iPhone 17 and we should be at like iPhone 5.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Even
it's just
with
copies.
these Z Folds, we're at like 7, but same thing. We should maybe be at like 3.
I mean, at least they're getting more. At least they're getting different things compared to iPhone.
They
They
are. They're
100% dragging it.
but you know what? Samsung is iPhone's bitch basically because they just sit here and do all this just so iPhone can use their technology later and come out better.
I agree, but I think that's their phone division. I think Samsung is busy working on becoming something bigger than just their phones.
I mean, brother, they have everything: phones, TVs, kitchen appliances, home
So
appliances.
you just answer what I'm saying.
Yeah, they
They
own it
they busy taking over your life.
everywhere.
Apple might be trying, but you really look. There's been more than a few Apple products that have come out, and you're just like, oh, fuck this, or it got sunset, or it got used. It became, you remember them iHomes? You know they used to have like the radio, like you could plug in your
Oh yeah,
iPhone,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
dock. That what the fuck is that? Where is it?
It was garbage.
It was yo,
They
but
made it to compete with other MP3 players that
right.
had things like FM radios and things like that built in. But Apple crushed the game so bad and destroyed their competition that they didn't need to continue that because there was no one promoting that for them to be like, oh yeah, we have that too. So the main thing about that is branding.
Right.
Just like with the doll, it's not about like, oh, that's the best product. Somehow the branding and the advertising of what they did, along with it becoming trendy,
Right.
because it became like, say, this generation's like treasure troll or Tamagotchi. There's a space, and this is important too. There's another gem. The key to success is when there's a space, an empty space for a product or a trend that is not being kept, and you fill that space, you're gonna go crazy.
And to further add to what you're saying, it doesn't have to be technically empty, right? Ryan had examples that could directly kind of give you an example of what level of fame this toy has achieved, right? It might be bigger. It might be like right now. I think like in terms of word of mouth, low key they're competing with like peak Barbie. You know what I mean?
Oh man, said peak Barbie.
You know what I mean?
That's
But
crazy.
like but like it's not a one of a kind to be truthful aside from this design and the intent and the naming and all that. The branding is there, everything is there marketing wise, but it's not one of a kind in the terms of it's a doll that's unique to people.
Right,
You can 20 years later from now make some other crazy looking doll and that shit would sell just as hard.
right,
You should not
because
think that just because one thing exists, you cannot put something out. Just like Ryan said earlier, you can't
yes,
put something out that's the same, but filling, like he said now, a need that was otherwise left open.
right. So you
Right.
could be increasing the product by making it better. You could have took something that's already there and made it better, and that's how you go up. Or you could have took a product or a trend that's missing. Like I said, where's the treasure trolls? Where's the beanie babies? Where's the pocket pollies? I'm going in now. I'm gonna get showing my age and whatnot. But what I'm saying is that small little doll, standing ornament type of toy,
Right.
that niche hasn't been filled in a while. So this person thought about that. What happened to the Beanie Baby? All these different things.
Already we had
Tickle
some,
Me
there's
Elmo.
some acid or something. I don't know.
I don't know. They got melted down. Not that type of acid. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that missing niche that wasn't there,
Right.
and then he found that. Oh, boom! And then it took off because it followed. It's kind of like what I said about the grocery stores. It followed that similar pattern of like, oh, this little small little ornament type collectible. It fit into that category that didn't really have anything hitting right now, and so it took off.
Right. And a lot of things work that way. But outside of you starting a business or doing the entrepreneurial
Right.
road, you know what I mean?
Or investing
You
in real estate because it's a business that
it's pretty
requires.
it's pretty field proof. You're like you could be in any kind of field, you can have any kind of life, but investing in real estate will always be a vehicle for investing to begin with.
Yes, as long as you have the financial
wherewithal, yeah,
needs, the capacities,
to
the
manage it. Yeah.
to manage that, because there are a lot of costs involved. Home ownership is one thing, but investing in real estate is
A
another.
whole other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen different things. Like, I watch a lot of different videos on a lot of different things. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Even though I teach people about streaming services, I'm there, and it's not a good idea to simply invest without doing your due diligence
Right.
and making sure that you have an understanding of the process and what's going to be involved, and that is, once again, within your capacity. So, like, blindly walking into any project, big or small, is probably not going to work out well.
Right. And that kind of reminds me of the book Fabian Reed makes everybody read when they start the freaking brokerage. What is it? Richest Man in Babylon?
Yes.
I was reading in there, right? For some reason, I remember the author is fixated on having money work for you. That is one of the core concepts. And then he has other rules that are kind of important. I don't remember off the top of my head of how money should operate and the way you should manage your money for you. In his kind of explanations about the way you handle money, and the way you handle investing your money, is that if you're going to venture out from what you know as an investor or a professional of any kind, you always have to go to the person who knows that the best.
Some type of mentor.
Mentor in field expert.
Yes.
Like, if I want to make money in construction, I'm not going to start reading construction books as much as I should to be familiar with the process.
Right. You may do that as well.
Right. I can have chat do me in the modern world, right? I can have chat give me a rundown of what constructing different kind of projects would look like, the timelines, etc. Or I may, in the more post AI world, have picked up a couple books, learned about construction, again, from different kinds of constructions and methods, right? But I cannot be the expert. I did not spend my whole life learning construction. I'm not an engineer, and I'm not a carpenter. I'm not a general carpenter. Yeah, I'm not a general contractor. I'm none of that. So I would have to contact one and let them know, yo, I'm looking to make money in construction. I have this amount of money to invest. Can you help me flip a property, build a property, get a subdivision, break it apart, sell it? You know what I mean? You don't have to tell them your whole plan, but whatever concerns construction, you better have that expert to talk to. And you want to invest in realtor, you want to invest in real estate, you get a realtor that knows what they're doing.
Boom.
You know what I mean? It's as simple. You know what I mean? You want to open a recovery home to help people who are either coming out of prison or recovering from addictions, etc., where the state pays you per bed. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a staff of people who are very familiar with social services and they got their social work degrees, and you're gonna find yourself a director to run this program that is very familiar with the kinds of people that come out of prisons, very familiar with the methodologies that can actually help them recover, because you don't know that shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't know how to deal with these people.
Right.
You don't know how to, and it's not like I'm saying, oh, these people are beyond your ability. Like, you can certainly connect with people in these situations on a level, but there's a deeper level beyond, oh, yo, hey, my name is, like, it's not you can't jump into that like that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to get a wealth of knowledge on your side as well, so you can address stuff in an appropriate manner, and then you can also then from that angle run that business. And that's an example again of just getting an area expert in a business form.
Right.
We ain't experts in that business, but I'm telling you, you aren't either unless you are.
You also don't want to be taking on so much that you're trying to run everything in your business.
Exactly.
Especially a business like that. Say it was something like that. That's very serious. You have people dealing with addiction.
Right.
You have people dealing with mental health. You have people dealing with emotional abuse. So, like,
Exactly.
you need, like, therapists and all type of
Right.
different people on scene. So you're not going to go out there and try to get a psychology degree. No, you're going to bring the right people in. For the things that you don't know when you're running your business, you find an expert.
And that's even It's a good point, and it's good for the other side of what I'm trying. What I kind of like wanted to glaze over real quick
Super false.
is that even if you are the expert, you cannot be doing everything on your own.
Right.
You could at best be the director if you wanted to give yourself a fancy title, but you can't expect to be the social worker dealing with every single individual.
And
You
running the
can't
business.
expend yourself like that. So if you want to run a business as a part of the business, you have to understand what delegation is. And that's really easy to surmise and to summarize and to tell you that's what you need to do. But
Right.
there's a lot that goes into it because you have to ensure that the person that you're trusting is worth the trust. That's a whole different part of
That's
being
real.
like a leader, a business owner. You know, you got to understand that the people making the coffee at your coffee shop are skilled enough to do so. And you've built a system enough off of experienced baristas or people who came in that know what they're doing
Right.
to then continue that and to execute a model that is both enjoyable to your customers, but also sufficient enough to maintain customers, right? So it's like you can pull any business out of the hat, and it could be big or small. You could be a notary, for example,
Right.
you go around notarizing stuff, you know, helping people with their official documents. You got to know what you're doing, what you're notarizing, so you don't end up in prison. Okay?
That's real.
So wealth of knowledge is important, and that's the reason why you take an exam, multiple exams to be a realtor. You take multiple exams to be licensed in most things.
Right. Trying
Most
to make sure
things.
you got it. Make sure you got the understanding.
Right.
The same
And-
way we're dropping the knowledge, trying to make sure you got the understanding too.
Right. And if you don't, find someone who does. If you, especially if you're trying to make it a business, right? Because there's a lot of things that go into even just what we're trying to suggest would be the simplest ways to have a side piece or a side job. I mean,
Yeah, he's wilding.
yeah, like drop shipping. It might sound super easy in principle, but there are people out here paying for $5,000 to $10,000 master class courses to learn how to drop ship. You know why? Because you could literally, in theory, drop ship a lot of things. So a lot
You're
of
not
people
doing the work, of course.
exactly. I mean, but then people want to know, like, okay, what's the fastest way that you got there? So people are willing to pay for your knowledge.
Right.
It's like with anything, like you pay for knowledge when you go to college, right? You're paying to be taught by these professionals, and you're paying for an experience that would make you a more well-rounded professional. That's why they got these master classes. But that field only is so expensive because, again, the knowledge is not so simply obtained. You know what I mean? It's
And
not.
the knowledge is going to take you somewhere. Like if you go to a college and you have a professor that's teaching you whatever class it might be,
Yeah.
there's no guarantee that that professor is like financially capable or living any type of financial extraordinary life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously, when you get into like college and stuff like that, the pay is a bit better than traditional teachers. As a professor or whatever like that, you know, the pay is there. But at the same time, knowing how to budget and manage your money is something completely different. You could be making millions and not know how to balance your budget or pay attention to, you know, what's going in versus what's going out. And you could be, you know, just blowing your profits away.
So and that's a big one. So what I want to do is put a pin in it. So next episode we can really go into budgeting practices.
Yes,
Like
sir.
we gonna do this school style. So we
Yeah.
talking about professors already. We're
That's
gonna
it.
go into what you need to do in terms of debit and credits. Yeah, no one knows the difference between the two apparently. You don't hit everything as a credit. You gotta actually be real smart with your credits. So that's why we want to actually delve into
That's real.
budgeting practices. I don't. I want to see if we can get ourselves a lender on that one, so we can really sit here and actually go through budgets.
That would be
And we could. I would low key. I mean, hey, look, it might put some people to sleep, but if we could really run through a spreadsheet with one of our lenders, that would be wild work.
Yeah,
Have them bring in like a fake client. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And really get down to business with y'all. But next episode, we will be giving out some knowledge on general budgeting practices and giving you a feel for great, not only emotional, but factual information on how to make yourself and your life better.
Yes, sir.
And like we said, look out for that. Like I was suggesting, definitely look out for that lender episode because I think that would be a cool one, actually. Yeah. I think that'd be a
Very
real cool
informative and educational.
Right.
A budget is really important. That's just a gem right there. If you're not budgeting, when you see what like is coming in versus what is going out, and you could clearly see where you stand on that, if you're like in a positive or a negative income, then it all starts from there.
It all starts making sense.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We appreciate you guys. Glad to be back.
Yes, I am glad to be back on the East Coast.
There you go.
Yeah. Love me my East
Straight out
Coast.
of O Block.
Straight out of O Block.
Yes, sir.